Hey everybody, I'm back with another video showing you my most recent pickups. And I'm going to start off here with some 1949 Bowman. Really sharp looking cards. These cards are more about eye appeal than the actual grade. You've got the Cass Michaels on the left and the Floyd Baker on the right. VG3 and then an excellent 5. Both these guys were infielders for the Chicago White Sox back in the day. Cool cards. You also notice that the one on the left doesn't have a name, while Floyd Baker's on the right does have his name on the front. That's because starting with card 109 in the set, they started putting in the names on the front. There's slight variation on the back as well, with one of them having a fake autograph and the other one just got the name and the information printed. On here to a 1951 Bowman Early Win from my Early Win collection. And then a very nice 1953 Topps Monty Irving. This is my first 1953 Topps card, and I cannot say that I am disappointed. These things are very nice, very beautiful cards. And then Monty Irving is a Hall of Famer that I collect that not a lot of people know about. He spent most of his early career in the Negro Leagues and then came into the major leagues late in life, or late in his playing career at least. But he had a major impact on two of the great stars from the 60s. That is Willie Mays, who was his roommate. He was kind of like his handler slash big brother when he came into the big leagues. And then another guy, Roberto Clemente. Because Monty Irving would go play in the Puerto Rican Winter League, and that's where Roberto Clemente grew up, he would go to the ballpark and watch Monty Irving play. He was kind of like his idol and a player that he patterned his game after. Onto this 54 Warren Spahn and a VGX Plus, a 4.5. Don't have a lot of Warren Spahn, but I'll pick him up here or there. He was a great Hall of Fame pitcher. And once again, this is a card that has got good eye appeal, much better than the grade itself. And then this here, this common 55 Bowman Irv Noren. It is quite possibly the best 5 I've ever bought. This card is just, to the eye, to the naked eye, this thing is perfect, man. If I had to grade it with the naked eye, I'd probably give it an 8, but it is a 5, and the folks at PSA do a fantastic job of really going over these cards. And on the left edge of this here, it's kind of got a raised, I guess you could call it like a manufacturer seam all the way down the left end of the card. It's very subtle. It's hard to see by the naked eye, but it is some sort of a surface defect. And that's probably, that is the reason why that card is graded just a 5. And then on here to this 55 Ernie Banks. Have you ever had that card that you've always wanted to pick up for whatever reason? It's not hard to get. There's a lot of them out there, but for whatever reason, you never buy it. Or every time you bid on it, you come up just short. That was the case for this 55 Ernie Banks. A beautiful card. Quite possibly the most beautiful Banks card out there. I like it even slightly more than his 54 rookie card. This concludes all the Topps 50s cards for Ernie Banks that I need for my collection. I still need the 55 Bowman, which is a short print and very tough to get and expensive. I also need his 61 Topps All-Star card, another tough short print, and then his 63 multiplayer card that he shared with Hank Aaron. So looking to pick those up. A couple 56 commons. And then this player here, not a common, this 57 Ken Boyer. Ken Boyer was actually a 7-time All-Star and the 1964 National League MVP. So he's in the St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame. Great player that not a lot of people outside of Chicago know a whole lot about. On here to this 59 Topps Fence Buster with Eddie Matthews and Hank Aaron. I like that card. Just really solid color to that card and cool imagery. On here to this 1961 Topps Babe Ruth hits his 60th home run. This is in the book that I mentioned on previous videos about the top 300 cards out there to collect. So I picked it up. It's not a very good grade as an excellent, but I didn't pay a whole lot for it. And it's a solid card, and definitely one it's not bad to have, part of that 300 set, as is this Don Larson pitches the perfect game here in a near mint to mint 8. Off center here, but still cool card. And then on to 68. You can't go wrong here with this 67 RBIs leader. You got 3 Hall of Famers, Orlando Cepeda, Bob, Roberto Clemente, and then Hank Aaron. And then as I've mentioned before, I am collecting all the 1968 Topps All-Star cards. So I've got a couple more here that I've picked up with this Ron Santo and an Air Mint to Mint 8. This Gene Alley is actually a tough one to get, so I paid a little bit more than people might realize for this one. And then this Tony Oliva. This Joe Horland is the only one that I have in a mint 9. Everything else is near mint to mint 8. And then this Ken Holtzman. With this Ken Holtzman, now I have 17 of the 20 cards that I need. Still looking to pick up the Roberto Clemente, the Bill Freehand, and the Tim McCarver. So looking to get those as well. Maybe I'll do a separate video when I get them all and put the puzzle together. The back has puzzle pieces. Here, this 69 Topps Decal Edge and an excellent mint 6, which is a really good grade for these 69 Decal Edges. Centering is an issue as well. This one's nicely centered, but a lot of people don't realize the back is what really holds these cards back, because the scooped or scalloped cut on these cards, the back are prone to really chip right along the edges there. They chip very easy. So when you send these in, you might think, hey, this card is mint, man, this thing's a good shape. Then you get it back from PSA and it's an excellent mint 6, and you're like, what happened? Well, PSA knows these cards chip real easily in the back, and it's very tough to get them in high grades for that very purpose, for that very reason. So down here onto some 70s cards. Typically I like to pick up my 1970s cards in near mint to 7 and greater. This is a case of me wanting just to get a cheaper card that has good eye appeal. This 70 rows all-star card, got it here in the 6, and it's a fair grade for it. The bottom corners here are a little dinged up on it, but the card has great centering, which is typically an issue for those all-star cards from 1970. The price differential for the 7 and the 6 is about $25. So you can buy more than 2 6s for the price of 1 7. So I just pick it up in a 6. As I did with this Hank Aaron, which clearly has a centering left to right issue. I picked that up. I collect both Pete Rose and Hank Aaron, so nice cards to get to the collection. I didn't break the bank with them. Here in 1975 Topps Mini Fergie Jenkins in a near mint to mint 8. And then going off the baseball cards here, I picked up this one football card, this John Elway. It's his 3rd year card from '86. And then also a 79 Pete Maravich. I'm starting to collect Pete Maravich, so pick that up for my Pete Maravich collection. And then here 2 Michael Jordans. I mean, you can never go wrong buying a Michael Jordan. You know, he's for our generation what Mickey Mantle was for past generations. He's a guy that's going to be extremely collectible, so you can't go wrong. Now, 1990 Fleer is not tough at all. I mean, they mass-produce this stuff like crazy, just like they mass-produced all the early 90s baseball cards. So I must have bought 100 packs of this 1990 Fleer as a kid growing up. You know, I was just a teenager. I had a little bit of disposable income. I mean, spent it all on baseball and basketball, football cards, etc. But I don't remember ever pulling any of the Michael Jordans. I couldn't pull a Jordan to save my life. I just couldn't. So to get these cards, it was kind of cool. There was a Probstein auction, and they had a lot of them up. A lot of these near mint to mint 8s. I bid on a lot of them. Paid just over $4 for them. I mean, you can't even get these cards graded for $4. So to get those, it's kind of cool. And then the last, one of the last cards I want to show you. Real excited about this one. This is a 57 Swift meets Frank Robinson. As you remember, Frank Robinson's rookie year is 57. So this is kind of a rookie card for him as well. These Swift Meat cards came in packages of hot dogs. It was an 18-player set. Had a Hank Aaron, a Richie Aspirin, but really wasn't heavy on the Hall of Famer class. But I've always wanted to get this card. Never saw it at a price that I liked or could afford. And somebody had a buy it now best offer, and the price was good. And normally I'm about a 90% guy when it comes to that best offer. I usually throw a good offer out there if I want the card. In this case, I probably went around 80%, thinking I probably wasn't going to get it, but I would just throw it out there because I really didn't want to fork over a lot of money, because I've been spending a lot lately, as you can see. So went to bed, woke up the next day, was surprised to see this in my checkout bin. Super excited to have it. It's a really cool card. It's meant to be a 3D player card if punched out. Fortunately, the kid who pulled this, or whoever pulled this, didn't do that. And it's a really cool piece, glad to have in the collection. And then I just wanted to finish up the video by showing you a couple stacks of commons. Sorry about the glare. I picked these up and some set breaks I saw on eBay. You know, for all these 61s and 68s, for the 61s on the left I paid around, you know, $5 to $6 for these, and these are all near mint 7s. And then on the right, these 68 tops, all near mint 8s, probably paid around the same, about $5 a card. And the big thing is you can get the shipping and handling bundled on those, and then get some really cool cards in decent grade, even though they are commons. And that's going to wrap it up for my latest pickups. Once again, I wanted to thank all you guys for watching, and then also for your posts and comments. I really appreciate it. Thanks again. Bye.